The weather is super gray out today down here at the beach. I'm in California right now. My name is Sean Oz. This is the World of Oz. And in today's drone video, I'm gonna show you what you can do when the weather is so gray like this. Now, when the GoPro doesn't even capture all the differences in the sky, your drone's not gonna really do it either. And today we are gonna be using the DJI FPV just because I really like that look, and I've been here before with regular drones here in San Pedro. It's a really cool spot to fly drones because of all the rocks and the graffiti on the rock. And I just thought that the DJI FPV would be really nice because we can get really close up to some of these rocks and really bring in a different dynamic than what I would get like in the old video that I made years ago. When you are flying a drone and you have this kind of weather, my first suggestion would be to try to stay close to your subjects. Don't just go up and cruise around at a high altitude. You don't really get any movement whenever you're doing that, especially when the sky is just grayed out. You can't even tell that the thing's moving half of the time. Now, you don't have to get super close to things to get that movement, but it doesn't hurt to get semi-close to things to show that movement. It's a totally different look, and I'm gonna share that with you here in this video. So I do plan to fly from a couple of different locations, and by doing that, that will also let me mix these videos together, and it will give a completely different look than if I just sat in one spot and flew from one spot. We're gonna start right here at this location. Let's go ahead and set up and get a couple shots, and then we'll move over to the next location, and at the end of this video, we'll put it all together, and you'll be able to see what we got. Now, with the DJI FPV in manual mode, you can set the angle of the camera, which is gonna let you fly faster or slower. Typically, whenever I'm gonna fly closer to things, I make a little bit less of an angle, so that way I can go a little bit slower. And it just makes me feel a little bit more confident because losing this would suck. My vantage point here isn't the greatest, so from this location, I'm probably just gonna keep it right around this fence here. And I'll get a couple of higher up shots so you can see how it really doesn't look like anything when you're super high up. Now, since I have the dogs, I am flying in the car just so that nobody bugs me. Just looking out, making sure there's nothing in front of me. So this is really high up, and you can see like it's still cool to see, but it's not quite as entertaining as if you get close to things. And my signal is definitely getting cut off as I drop down below the rocks. I get a lot of that when I'm in Colorado. Now, if I was standing over there on the edge by the actual fence, I would get a much better signal. And as I'm doing this, I'm keeping in mind where I am compared to the drone so that I can find it if I go down. So just to show you the difference, we're gonna throw this in normal mode. And if you're just flying around in normal mode, you can't get the same kind of views and angles with the drone. So it's more of a great way to just sort of scout and see your area prior to flying. So I'm gonna drop it back down in manual. DJI pauses in the air. You set your sticks to the right spot, and poof, it's manual again. As you can see, that sky is so gray. Not a whole lot to it. See, now if I didn't have the dogs, I would climb down there and sit down there and fly, because that would be a really cool location. We got a few passes, and that'll work for this location. So now we're gonna just bring it right back over here, land it, and go find another location. In normal mode, you can actually take your goggles off and fly it around like a regular drone. When I first took off on my first battery, I found that my camera angle was not how I thought it was. It's good to check that before you actually take off into the air. And I had to adjust that. I ended up getting like a 50-60 degree angle, which was way more than what I wanted. And I settled with an 18% angle by the time I was actually flying around. And one of the big differences for me is flying in a situation like this, or a location like this, is I'm so used to flying next to massive giant mountains. I'm passing all these things so fast, and the DJI FPV is actually it's a larger FPV type quad, and because of that it's not the same as flying a smaller drone or smaller FPV style quad, something like the a 3-inch or something like that. That's also part of why I feel like I just buzz by things so much faster, even if I have the angle set at a slower speed. It just, to me, feels like I'm just moving really quickly by my subject matters. So what I'm doing now is I'm actually coming out here to the other side where I saw, while I was in the air, another spot that seemed like it'd be a good spot to set up and get a better antenna signal to get a little bit more stuff to mix into the video that we're going to show you here at the end of this. As you can see, I'm parked way over there, so the signal wouldn't be so great across this field and then dropping on the other side of that cliff. So I am going to have to bring the bag and everything and go set back up on that table. That's going to help us get a better signal. It's going to help you be open to getting more shots. It doesn't necessarily mean, oh, I'm gonna fly further. It just means I'm gonna have a stronger signal so that I can get the shots that I want to get. Now again, because I have the dogs, this is sort of a pain in the butt. I actually noticed some spots down around the corner there on the street, so I'm gonna actually go park there and hopefully be able to fly from the car again, because it's just so much easier with the dogs. If you want to help support the channel, you too can get your own sticker. Down in the description below, there's a link to my Etsy store where you can pick up your merchandise, stickers, t-shirts, hoodies, that kind of stuff with my very own logos on them. I've come to this location here with the Korean Bell many a times, way back when I used to live out here, and it never used to have anybody here, but today there are people here. So now what we're gonna do in this location is get some higher up shots. I know I can get the vantage point to really get those high up shots. It's okay, even on a gray day like this, to get those shots. You just wanna have other close-up shots to mix it all together, because if all you get is like 200, 300 feet up and it's just gray, nothing moves, like I said at the beginning of this video, and it's just really boring. But by having some stuff like this, we're gonna mix it all together and create just a much more dynamic, entertaining drone video. And another thing you want to keep in mind is you don't want it to become too long. Typically, if you're doing a vlog or something like that, which you can go see my cross-country drive and tons of drone footage, I try to keep that from 1 to 2 minutes. I've done videos that are just extensive drone footage that are 10 minutes plus long, and people only watch about 2 minutes of them. Drone footage gets sort of boring if it's just the same thing again and again and again. So that's why you got to mix it up. Let's get the shots from here and then we'll move to one more location. And then if you want some tips learning how to edit, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're hitting that bell notification, because I'm going to be doing some videos showing you how I put together drone clips. Not in this video, but in another one. Now, as the day has gone on and I've switched location to location, it's actually gotten foggier and even grayer out than it was at the beginning. So I'm trying to stay close to similar kind of viewpoints so that when I mix all these videos together to the music, they make sense. I don't want to like jump from the beach to a desert or to a mountain all in one video for this particular instructional. Or mostly whenever I put together drone videos, I want to try to keep the subject matter similar, just like I'm doing in this one. So I'm going to fly in this one last location. This is the Trump golf course behind me. We're going to get some shots and then we're going to edit it all together starting right now. Let me know what you think of this style video. And if you'd like to see some more tips and tutorials about using drones, GoPros, 360 cameras, if I can help you to hopefully edit and become better at all these things, I would love to do that. So let me know in those comments below what you think of this style video, and let's go ahead and start the footage. What did you think of that? How did that all come together in your opinion? I felt we got the right choice of music. I felt we had enough difference between the shots that we were able to put something together just by going out and flying. Literally, this took me an hour to go to these different locations. They were all super close to each other on the map, and I really like the end result. Hopefully you did too. If you did, you know how to let me know by leaving a comment and clicking that thumbs up button. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.